Hello everyone! It's time for another Baking Bits segment. Today I'm going to be discussing two common ingredients used in baked goods. Baking soda and baking powder. Both baking soda and baking powder are what we call leavening agents. That means that they help a baked good rise. A very important job for certain. Let's take a look at the differences between the two. Baking soda, also known as sodium bicarbonate, must be combined with something acidic in order to work its magic. When combined with ingredients such as lemon juice, buttermilk, vinegar, or other acidic ingredients, the baking soda will produce carbon dioxide bubbles, causing your baked good to rise. Isn't science fascinating? Now, baking powder contains sodium bicarbonate as well. However, it also includes an acid in it, so you don't need to add that in order to create the reaction. The chemical reaction is activated in baking powder by adding moisture and heat. Now, you may be wondering if you can substitute one for the other in a recipe, and in most cases, this is not recommended. It is possible to substitute baking powder for baking soda in some recipes, though you are going to need to add up to 4 times the amount of baking powder in its place. However, you cannot substitute baking soda for baking powder because it will lack the acidic ingredients to make your recipe rise. In general, I highly recommend to stick with the recommendations in the recipe that you are following. Now, what happens if you follow your recipe exactly and your baked good still doesn't rise? It's possible your baking soda or powder have gone out of date. Oh dear! Both of these products can expire and lose their effectiveness over time. Luckily, there is an easy way to test their effectiveness before you use them. I'm going to demonstrate that for you. Let's start with the baking soda. Here I have a couple tablespoons of vinegar. To this, I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. If your baking soda is fresh, it should bubble and foam quite vigorously. Would you look at that? Oh, wow! It's good! Now to try the baking powder. For this, I have a small amount of hot water. It's important that your water is warmed or it will not work for this test. Just be very careful with it. Now, let's add about 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder and see what happens. It should bubble and fizz, similarly to the baking soda. Now, wasn't that a fun experiment? If your baking soda or baking powder does not have a reaction to these tests, it's time to discard and purchase new ones. I hope this baking bit was helpful. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Until next time, mwah!